This is not ideal for the Kansas City Chiefs, but Thornton and Remigio have a big opportunity ahead. Me, you, yes, you, and Mike are going to talk about that.
Chiefs Kingdom. What's up, baby? Noah Gray here, tight end for your Kansas City Chiefs. You're listening to All Chiefed Up with Mike and Steve Williams.
Chiefs Kingdom, all chiefed up crew. How we doing, baby? Good to see everybody. Appreciate you guys rolling in here, holding tight for us, being patient. We were a little bit late tonight, but it's okay. A lot of stuff going on this week. Like I said, appreciate you guys being here. Do us a favor, hit the like button, help this stream get out to more people. We have some Chief stuff to talk about tonight, Mike. Rashee Rice, they're going to meet about him on September 30th to see what they want to do, right?
Yeah, that's what was reported. Schefter come out and said Rashee Rice is expected to have his disciplinary hearing, as you said, on September 30th in New York, and it means he's probably going to get to play the first 4 games of the season. But there's some other interesting stuff. Charles Goldman released an article today, and basically he was saying this. He said, according to multiple reports, the reason for this hearing is that the NFLPA, and player representatives for Rice have discussed a settlement involving his disciplinary action. So in other words, they've all got together, and they've been talking about this for a few days and weeks probably. They're trying to figure out how many games he's going to be suspended. The league is saying they want X amount of games. His people in the NFLPA is saying we want this amount of games, and they're not being able to come to a conclusion here. So how many games are the NFL trying to suspend Rashee Rice? That's got to be the question we're asking right now. He went on to say that suggests the league is pushing for a longer suspension length, while the NFLPA and Rice's counsel believe that the valid argument for leniency. He goes on to say they still may agree on a suspension before the 30th hearing date, which would ultimately make the hearing unnecessary. The reason for the September 30th date has to do with Robinson's schedule per ESPN Dan Graziano. Robinson, by the way, ladies and gents, is the lady that is set to hear this case. Is Sue Robinson right there at the very bottom of the screen. She actually had done one other case in the past, but yeah, she apparently can't find any way to get this going before a full month of the season.
She's busy. So,
look, in my opinion, this is wild. A lot of people are saying, oh, the Chiefs, they're getting favoritism. Him and Jordan Addison said this on the same day, and he already got suspended. Well, it sounds to me like he got a slap on the wrist, and they're trying to throw the book at Rashee Rice, and the NFLPA and even Rashee Rice's people is like, look, we're not doing this 8-10 game suspension crap. So they may want 6. Rice and the team may want the same as Addison. They may want 3. They may want 4. And the NFL is just not caving on this. So old Sue's going to hear it on September 30th. But maybe they get something done before. Sounds like to me Sue could put up like a 2 to 3 game suspension. They could go for a 6 to 8. And maybe they can counter it down to the middle to about that 4 to 5 games that we're all thinking about anyway.
Right. Susan, if you're listening, come on now. Come on. Jordan Addison was drinking and driving and got 3. Think about that. Think about that, Susan. Yeah, but, I mean, there's lots of different scenarios that could play out here. I mean, we're just as much in the dark as we were before we found out about the hearing, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of speculation like, well, could the Chiefs go ahead and suspend him up front? That way it counts towards his suspension. And I kind of dug into that, and I don't have a solid answer, but according to AI, yes, that can happen. If the Chiefs decide to go ahead and just suspend him for the first 4 games.
The Chiefs could say, look, yeah, we'll suspend him for 4, and the NFL could say that's valid. If the league
actually says they're doing 6, if the league comes out and gives them 6, then he only has to serve 2 more, 6 total. So according to the NFLPA and all that, if the Chiefs do suspend him, whatever he serves does count towards the league suspension.
Right. Well, our boy Warren Sharp actually had tweeted this out today and said, so Rice 100% gets to play the hardest 4-game stretch for the Chiefs this season, which features the Eagles, the Ravens, and at Chargers in Brazil. The Chiefs won't play another gauntlet like that at all this season. So whatever games Rice does miss, the Chiefs dodged a huge bullet getting him weeks 1 through 4. So that leads me to believe that, look, the Chiefs have 2 things. They have 2, and one of these options are going to be for the whole entire premise of the video. Number 1, the Chiefs can go ahead and say, look, we'll do this 1 through 4 suspension thing. We'll let the NFLPA come in, and maybe if they give them 6, we'll maybe say, look, we give them 4, let's compromise, blah, blah, blah. And then that is going to allow them to put Rashee Rice on a reserve list and free up an extra wide receiver to take to your roster. So just like they did with Charles Minihue 2 years ago, you would have that extra receiver. So essentially you're getting 8. Now look, when Rashee Rice serves that suspension and comes back, one of those receivers is going to have to get back to the practice squad, and then they could be poached from there. So you're basically just kicking the can down the road here. But this does allow a guy like Jason Brownlee to make the team. It allows Tyquan Thornton to make the team. You've got these guys that are on that bubble. And with Rashee Rice being suspended early, you had that opportunity to get them on the team for 4 weeks, see what they could do, maybe sneak them onto the practice squad when he comes back or whatever. Best man wins, and then you just kind of go from there. But if they don't do that and they let them play through the hardest 4 games, one of those guys are going to go. And maybe 2 of those guys go if they decide to keep Sky Moore. And a lot of people still think Sky Moore's gone. But I'm telling you, Andy Reid and them do some weird stuff when it comes to rosters, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm not saying it will, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, either way, they'd have to keep like 7. Like,
yeah, they're going to have to keep 7.
Because I think Nico Remigio is going to make the roster just for special team stuff. I think that Dave Tobe's going to, plant his flag in the sand there, and that's what's going to happen. So I think if there's going to be a Thornton or a Brownlee or whoever, they got to be number 7, right? Especially with Rice going to be on the roster at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
but
Nico feels like a lock.
I'm kind of with Warren on this one. I think that if Rashee Rice can play weeks 1 through 4, that might be a good thing for the Chiefs because they do have a gauntlet at the beginning of the season. Now, if he were to miss weeks 5 through 9 or whatever, I can't remember when the bye week is. I think it might be 8 or 9. I'm not for sure. But either way, if he were to serve a suspension after week 4, there's still gonna be some pretty good games right there that he's gonna miss. The Buffalo game, the Washington Commanders, and maybe a couple others. But I don't think the Chiefs' early season schedule, like the first half, is not easy regardless. So either which way that goes, it's kind of whatever to me. I'm just really wondering what the league's trying to do to him, right? I don't see why they would go complete crazy on it and try to suspend him for like 10-plus games. But it also wouldn't surprise me either. So I'm just kind of really wondering what that's about.
Yeah, I just think it's wild that you've got guys like Florio. You've got like if anybody watches like Microphone on YouTube, anybody like that, these guys are completely desperate for clicks. They're acting as if they don't understand how the rules of the NFL work. Like everyone is acting as if the NFL is literally just pushing Rashee Rice off because they don't want to suspend him and that they're just trying to not get anything out of this. And that's not the case at all. We all know that there's rules, there's arbitrators, they agree on this. There's plenty of things. He's going to get suspended. They're not trying to dodge a suspension. The NFL cares about him getting suspended. Believe me, Chiefs and Chiefs fans agree he should be suspended for what he done. Nobody's trying to let him get a pass on this. But it has to be done fairly, and it's got to be done right. And the thing about it is, if Jordan Addison's going to get 3 for drinking and driving after the Henry Ruggs incident, Rashee Rice did a bad thing by speeding and doing all that stuff too. But again, his big thing maybe wasn't even the speeding. It was the fact that he left the scene and didn't even check on anybody. That was the most douchey thing he did. Okay, so 4 games is pretty good there. If the league wanted to hand down 6 and maybe they settled on a 5-game suspension or something like that, I would be totally fine with that. But to try to knock this guy out for a whole season or 10 games or 12 games, whatever the league's trying to pull here, to me is just too much. And I think they're doing that for a reason, Steve. They're trying to tell everybody we're not easy on the Chiefs. We don't favor the Chiefs. Right. We're not doing this, blah, blah, blah. And I tell you, this is a bad sign for things to come this year because any close games or anything, I think the Chiefs are going to start getting the shaft this year because of that.
Right. Somebody brought that up in a prior live stream where they had left a comment and said something like, do you think all these people complaining about the refs and the Chiefs are eventually going to make it to where the league and the referees are harder on the Chiefs? Just by,
I think that's what they're trying to do. I think that's the solution.
I think naturally that's going to happen, right? Because you want to prove if you're a referee or you're the league that you're not biased, right? Like, it's not enough just to say, hey, that's not what's going on, but they want to prove it to everybody. So it very well could happen. Shout out the old man with a 10 bomb here. It says 3 weeks until real foosball. How about it? Appreciate the $10, old man. Baby boy's going to get some lunch tomorrow. And then we got a 2 bomb from Shane. Says, up, boys, glad the suspension is happening later. Man, I kind of wonder what that – I might pull that in a minute, but I wonder if the general consensus is I'd rather get this thing out of the way early or if it's let's play the first 4 games because they're kind of tough, and then suspend. What is your thought on that, Mike?
I mean, you can go back and forth 2 ways. I would almost rather just have it early and get it over with. I think you get it over, you get it out of the way, you get that extra wide receiver on the roster. So while Rashee Rice gets put on reserve, maybe you can take Tyquan Thornton, Nico, and Jason Brownlee. If it happens late in the season and you try to put Brownlee on the practice squad, he may be poached by then. And then you're stuck with having to pull Scott Moore back off the practice squad or whatever that is. Nobody wants that. So I would almost rather have it early and get it out of the way. To me, it's a little wild that they're taking this long, and then the fact that Susan here, can't clear out. Look, we've known about this coming all summer long, and we haven't been able to get none of this done prior to this, and you're going to have to push it back to September 30th. It feels weird. It feels odd. This is the process, though, and I do not blame Rashee Rice and his people in the NFLPA for trying this as well. And this is not them trying to get out of serving their time.
It's what they do for everybody.
Yeah, and it's not the league trying to not suspend Rashee Rice because he plays for the Chiefs. This is all garbage and BS. This will happen in due time, but they've got to make it right. You can't overdo things. The NFLPA is there to make sure the league isn't unfairly criticizing the Chiefs because they think people, they favor the Chiefs. But, of course, you've got Florios and the microphones of the world, and they're out there getting the clicks and firing up the football unknowledgeable.
Shout out Terry, been a member for 5 months now, says I think 4 to 6 games. Sky Moore isn't going anywhere. Boy, Terry, you're really going to hurt some feelings with that kind of perspective here. I think just for your safety's sake, just go ahead and say that Sky Moore's not going to make the team. You might need to check your front yard right now. There might be a group of people with...
For Terry's safety, I think that was a typo, and he meant Sky Moore is going somewhere.
Look, I think there might be people out in your front yard with torches and pitchforks right now.
Could happen. But I think you're right there, Terry. I think 4 to 6 is the sweet spot. Me and Steve's been saying 4 games since the beginning. It didn't make any sense to go harder. Honestly, 6 games is too much, in my opinion. I think 4 is the sweet spot, and Addison got 3. So now that Addison got 3, if you want to say, look, he was speeding, he was drinking, there's your 3-3. Give Rashee Rice an extra game for being an a-hole and not checking on somebody. But other than that, he doesn't even have anything on his record if he just serves his 3 years probation. So what are you getting suspended a full league year for? Like, it's not even going to be on his record. Like, it's going to be a ghost at that point.
Right, so let's just speculate a little bit more. But if the Chiefs decide, or let's say the NFL decides to drag their feet on giving him the suspension, and say you're into the 5th week of the season and they still haven't said anything, and now you've already played 4 games, 4 of your toughest games, according to Sharp and some other people that have talked about it. And do you, as the Chiefs, go ahead and suspend Rice to try to go ahead and get 4 games knocked out of the way, just in case the league decides to suspend him at a very critical moment in the season, say the last 4 games of the season or something like that, where the games have implications? Because you definitely don't want to get yourself in a predicament to where the league can kind of mess with you at a really critical time of the season. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't this also what the NFLPA is going to try to prevent? If the league comes in and is like, look, we're dragging our feet. Oh, we'll suspend you for Buffalo in 4 games in that season, right in the middle of the season. Or we're going to suspend you for the last 4 to 6 games, or your suspension is going into the playoffs. I think the NFLPA is there to prevent that because that's an unfair punishment in a way. Maybe not the mid-season thing, but if you start going towards, like, the Chiefs are fighting for home field advantage or a 1 seed or something, and you're going to drag your feet that far on that suspension, I think the NFLPA and everybody, they would probably be able to come in and suspend that and get that pushed off to the next season. You may not see Rashee Rice suspended to 2026 if that were the case, because I do think that would go to an arbitrator and that would get upheld for Rashee Rice and the Chiefs.
Right. I see a couple of people in the chat talking about him serving his 30 days in jail because he does have that looming too. But it did say that he can serve that anytime over his 5-year probation.
Right. So he can literally serve 1 day every 2 months.
Right. I mean, honestly, though, it'll probably be more of like in the off season, here and there, everywhere. He'll get it done, but I don't think it'll be anything that affects anything. I don't think he has to serve it all during his 4-week suspension or whatever he were to get. It's just going to be split out. And
do you also think maybe his lawyers? You think his lawyers could also get him some kind of like a time served equivalent for him doing like charity work or community service? They may get something like that.
I don't know
in
if that's
there.
still on the table. I mean, everything's already been set, so I don't even know if that's a possibility. But either way, I don't think it really
Lawyers-
matters. We're talking about
lawyers are
30
good.
days over 5 years. So, I mean, we're talking about, 1,500, probably 1,700 days
Right.
to serve 30. I think he'll figure it out. It'll probably be spaced out. Probably a weekend here, a weekend there, whatever. But, yeah, I don't think that'll have any bearing on the Chiefs at all as far as the jail time goes. The suspension's a big thing. And right now, no one really knows what's going on. It's pretty up in the air, so we can all speculate. But I'm going to stick with the 4 games. I think 4 games is fair to me. If they want to go 6, then whatever. But I think with what you saw happen with Jordan Addison, 6 is kind of excessive.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think 6 is a little too much. But, you can't – if they want to do it and the NFLPA can't win it and it gets upheld, he's going to have to serve 6. Like, there's just nothing to do it. I would almost rather just get it over with. I think the Chiefs do start hot. But if you told me that Rashee Rice is going to – let's just say they settle on 4, so the first 4 games of the year. If you told me that the Chiefs would lose 3 out of those 4, I'm not writing the Chiefs off for the rest of the year. I'm just not doing it. At the end of the year, though, if you're 1 game out of home field advantage and they drop them for 4 games, and then that becomes the thing where it's like, dude, this sucks, kind of, because you're playing some divisional opponents and this and that. I would rather get it out of the way, even take the losses early, let your team build on it. We were talking with Warren Sharp about that too. Like, Andy and them would end the season right now if you told them you could just go to the playoffs at a 12-5 record, and they would say we'll take it.
Right.
They would take a 12-5 record all day long. So losing 2-3 games, I would say they wouldn't lose 4 without Rashee Rice. I mean, they did a whole season with him last year. I don't even think they lose but maybe 2 out of the first 4 just because those are tougher games maybe. So, 2 games for Rashee Rice, that you're giving them 3 other losses they could have throughout the season. I think you'd be fine there.
To put that into perspective, they didn't have Rashee Rice last year, and I think the roster last year was maybe a touch
It was worse
than this season. So I'm thinking, I just don't see that being a big thing either, to be honest about it.
Not to mention when you've made the wide receiver room so much better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's way more there now. Terry with the 10 bomb says, Mike and Steve, I'm a female. I don't like Sky Moore, the Sky Moore. The coaches seem to, just to clarify. I knew it was a female because of the eye. I knew. Just going to say that. But Sky Moore, no one likes Sky Moore at this juncture, okay? You didn't have to clarify that. I think we knew what you meant. And that's what Mike's trying to say, too. Like, no matter how much we don't want him on the team, you never really know what Andy's going to pull, right? It's a guy that's been around for a few years, knows the playbook, blah, 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 blah. He might end up on that roster, man.
I think it's wild. I just think it's really wild that you have all this talent in that wide receiver room, and we're all still having this back fear, this thought in the back of our minds that they may try to sneak Sky Moore into this room.
I think it's just a logical thing, right? It's like you have to prepare for the worst but hope for the best. That's what people normally do, right?
Yeah.
But let's talk about that a little bit. Not Sky Moore. Don't want to talk about him whatsoever. But let's talk
just the
about those
receiver
other
room.
wide receivers that can supplement the offense for Rashee Rice being out. And, honestly, if you just say they're taking 6 receivers, Rashee Rice being 1, Nico being 1, that still leaves you with those top 4 besides Rice. And if that's what they went with and then Rice was suspended and they don't even call anyone up, I don't feel like I would think they were in a bad spot as long as everyone was healthy. I think then it becomes a health issue with, Hollywood Brown, right? Is he going to be able to play, or is he always going to be hurt? Or Juju, is he going to have a lingering knee problem, or is he going to play? But, honestly, if they're all healthy and Rice goes out with even those 5 guys, I'm not worried. I'm really not. We looked at that all last season with Xavier Worthy basically being your wide receiver 1, and I think 15-2 was okay. I know the games were close, but the Chiefs found a way to win.
Yeah, I agree with that. But here's my thing. I think they're going to take 7. I think you have to take 7. Again, Rashee Rice is looking like he's not going to be on that injured reserve, / reserve list. I forget exactly what they call it. It's a reserve / something. Yeah, so he's probably not going to get that unless the Chiefs just impose it. And so I don't think you get it, and I think the Chiefs still have to take 7. I don't think they take 8. I think that's too many, especially with everybody they got. And I think 6 is too little with the talent they have. So it's looking like to me, Thornton, in my opinion, is right there after Jalen Royals at 5. I would still say Juju's 4, Jalen Royals is 5. Tyquan Thornton's probably 7, and Nico's probably 6. And again, it doesn't matter what you're saying, but Nico, in my opinion, feels more solid at this point than even Tyquan Thornton. Because I think Nico, they trust him. You've seen Matt Nagy, you've seen Joe Blameyer, you've seen there was somebody else. I know Dave Tobe talked about him, but they said it was Connor Emery. They said they trust Nico Remigio to not only be a special teams guy, but they trust him on the field as a wide receiver.
Of course,
they have said this the other day, and so in my opinion, that just reaffirms that Nico's probably a lock here. I think they like him. They like his attitude. They like his work ethic. And he does make some good catches, man. So I really do think he's probably a lock, and so that's why I'll put him as wide receiver 6 right now. I still think Tyquan, Brownlee, Sky Moore even, and I want to say probably Elijah. Do I want to go there? Do I want to say Elijah Badger? Yeah, I think Elijah Badger. I'll give Elijah Badger that right there on the cusp of fighting for that wide receiver 7. I was going to say Magdalena, but I just think he's not going to be able to do it because of his just size.
Badger seems more versatile than me. So.
Yeah, I think they like Badger. He can do a little bit of the Rashee Rice stuff as well. So he was working with the ones the other day too, so that's pretty good with Badger. I think at least with Badger, you got a practice squad guy there.
Shout out Flapjack with the 2 bomb. He said earlier in the chat, Mike, that they should just send Rashee Rice to jail with a butt plug and let it be done. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's wild, and I don't even know what to say.
That's classic Flapjack right there, though, you know?
Yeah. I don't know about it, man.
Yeah, I think the way that wide receiver room is, it's been a topic of discussion the entire offseason, how that's going to play out, right?
Yeah.
And now I think it has a lot more implications now that we know for sure. I mean, everyone speculated that Rice was going to serve a suspension sometime throughout the season. But now you know it's coming in one form or another, like 100% it's coming. We just don't know when. Then now you start to look at that a little bit harder and be like, okay, how are they going to have the guys they need to have in the offense? But, I mean, the fact that Tyquan Thornton has stepped up and played the way he has, the fact that Elijah Badger shows promise and Jason Brownlee shows promise, I think it does make you feel better about it. And then even Big Bob Tonyan just being another pass-catching option, showing that he can still do that. I mean, I think a lot of different things help with that. And then, of course, maybe if they can get Rashard Smith into that pass game or Elijah Mitchell or whoever, I don't think it's like a huge deal. It's just something that has to be done, right? It's one of those things. You don't want to pay your car insurance every month, but you have to. Just get it over with. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's inevitable. Rice is going to be out at one point or another. It's just how the Chiefs supplement in the offense.
Right, and I believe there's still enough weapons here. Look, it's going to rely on if Hollywood Brown can stay healthy or not. Do you realize it's been like 500 and some days? 500 and some days since we initially signed Hollywood Brown, looking to pair him with Rashee Rice.
And what's he played, like 5
and
games?
Xavier Worthy. And it's never happened. Like, they've never been on the field together at one time, I don't think. So that's probably going to happen, hopefully sooner than later. But look, the whole season relies on what can Xavier Worthy stay healthy and continue to be better this year? Because he stayed healthy in his rookie season.
Right.
But he's still a small guy, and they ask him to do a lot. So can he keep his health up? Can Hollywood do the same? And then can Juju do the same? Because Juju's got that too. And so on the backside of that, you're going to have Nico. You're going to have Jalen Royals, who's still a rookie. I mean, you're deeper.
And you always have to be prepared for the freak accidents and weird stuff that happens every season.
Right, kind of like the whole thing with Jared Wiley last year, which Jared Wiley's back this year, and that's another weapon for Mahomes. There's a lot of weapons in the tight end room as well. So Mahomes has got a lot of good weapons here.
For sure. It makes you feel a little bit better about it, right? Flapjack with a 20 bomb says, I'm number one because I can. Said, crown me. Flapjack is officially the number one fan right now. He's a top fan. Let me check it. Flapjack went to the top. He edged out old man. He edged out Pops. Took that spot.
Appreciate the 20 bomb, brother.
Thanks so much. And yeah, I'm gonna poll it. I'm gonna go ahead and poll it now. I'm gonna put up. Would you guys rather Rice serve? Let's just for the poll's sake and speculation's sake, we'll just say a 4-game suspension. and would you rather him serve it right off the rip, or would you rather it be delayed till after the first 4 games of the season? So I'm gonna put that poll up real quick, Mike.
Get that poll going, baby. Get that poll going. Dude, I'm excited. I don't really – I think a lot of Chiefs Kingdom would rather just get it over with. That's how I would see it, but it is what it is. While Steve's doing that poll, let's talk a little bit about the game coming up here. It's Friday, right? They're doing it on a Friday this week. Friday at good Lord, how late are they putting this game out? Because it's played in Seattle. So I'm kind of excited. We seen earlier in the week that Patrick was running with the 2s.
Patrick, he done lost his job to Gardner Minshew.
Right.
No, I think that's just a idea of how they're going to go about this next preseason game tomorrow night.
So do you think they're even going to play Pat?
Well, I mean, even if they don't, or even if they do, we saw what happened last game. He threw 2 passes and got out of there. So I don't think they're going to play him very much at all. So why wouldn't they run Gardner with the first team? Because I do think that you want to see some of these guys that could potentially be on the first team. This is a weird thing, actually, because there's a lot of receivers, pass catchers in general, that kind of are bubble players. Like, they could either be on the first team offense or they could not make the 53-man roster. And think about how weird that is. So I think to have Gardner ready to play with that group of guys is kind of a good thing, right? Because you want to pull Patrick early, but if you don't want to pull the rest of the guys, you still want to see how they're going to go in this offense. Then you want to have as many of your first team guys in as possible. That way you have something to go by, because we've always talked about that in the preseason. It's really hard to gauge how good a player is going to be, because even if they're showing out, a lot of times they're against 3rd and 4th string guys, and it's really hard to judge or even go by in the preseason. But if you can get them in there early, the other team still has some of their guys on the field, and we still have some R1s, then maybe you can get an idea.
Right. I think it's Minshew's job to lose as QB2, and I don't think anybody's going to take it.
It's not happening. Like
we were talking about this just after the game last week, and it was like, why were the Chiefs beat writers on the field trying to convince everyone that Bailey Zappi was beating Gardner Minshew over and over?
Things they do, but
and they were telling us, don't be surprised if we don't have Bailey Zappi as QB2. Don't be surprised if we don't keep 3 and one of them is Bailey Zappi. And then we watched Bailey Zappi come out there and he was worse than Oladokin. So it's like, what were you guys watching? You guys get amazing access to this team. And are we out there with blindfolds on? What are we doing?
Wasting it. That's what you're doing.
Just flat out wasting it, Peter. What are you doing? What are we doing out here, Steve? If I had unlimited access, I'd be telling you guys everything about these people. You see how thorough I am with camp, or not camp, but
the
draft stuff. Dude, give me 2 hours behind the scenes with the Chiefs. I'm going to tell you what they had for breakfast.
No offense to the guys, but they always ask the worst questions too at the pressers. It's like,
they're horrible questions.
Like, what are you even talking about? That's not important to anyone. No one cares about that. Let's ask them better questions.
Dude,
you think it's one of those things where they're like, you can't ask this?
I think people are scared to ask certain things. I'm not scared.
You'd be like that one. You know how there's that one dude at the White House press conferences all the time? What's his name, Ducey? Or
Peter Ducey or whatever. He's always just giving them hell, dude.
Yeah, it's always asking.
But he's asking the questions the people want. And then you've got the other people who's got an agenda.
You could be that guy, but in the Chiefs organization.
Right. I'm not trying an agenda. I'm not trying to sell to you guys that Bailey Zappi is the best quarterback on the roster. I don't have an agenda. I just want to know, is Big Bob Tanya going to make this team?
Whoever did that about Zappi, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I don't remember who it was, man. I'm going to have to go back and look.
I don't dislike Zappi, and I think Zappi could be okay. I think he did okay when he was starting for the Patriots.
Chiefer, you're right. Chiefer says we should apply for press passes. Dude, they would look at that and probably wipe their butt with it and send it back to us.
Nay.
We're not allowed to have a press pass. There's several reasons, but number one, I don't know. I just don't think.
They'd say, where's that bald guy at? Give it to him.
Yeah, give it to that guy.
Give it to that guy. We don't want that guy in here. Man. That would be kind of entertaining, though, if you did have a press pass. I'm not going to lie. I would enjoy it. I
probably should do it. Let's do it.
Like, wait, sir, you're supposed to be asking questions about Taylor Swift's YouTube appearance.
I'm not. Did you watch that, by the way?
No. Of course
Look,
not.
I have nothing against Taylor Swift, and I have nothing against Travis Kelce. I like Taylor Swift's music. I listened to Taylor Swift years ago before she was even connected to Travis Kelce. But, like, I found it really hard to get super excited about this when we literally have real football coming up in, like, 2 weeks.
I don't care about it.
Like, I felt like
I'm
this
with
was
you.
like...
I don't dislike them either.
Right.
I think
felt
people that go out of their way to hate them, it's kind of weird. It's like a weird energy. Like,
yeah,
you
it
don't have
is.
there's no reason to like spend your own energy hating on something that doesn't really matter. But at the same time, I don't care either. It's just like whatever. It's out there. I'm not going to freak out about it. Like so many people have been fangirling this week. Grown men fangirling.
Yeah,
in front of God and everybody.
I think there's an agenda behind that. It's to look a certain way and to get, people to like you. But here's the thing. I cannot wait to watch it. I'll watch it at some point. But again, I'm a Chiefs football fan first. I'm sorry, Taylor. and I think a lot of people liked it because she was announcing her album. I think that's why it kind of took off more than anything because she announced a new album, so her fans went wild with it.
Swifties are crazy.
And that's understandable. But again, I just found this so hard to get into. Like, I want Chiefs football. Like, we're this close to it, and I'm just ready for that, dude. Like,
what are we talking
have
about?
No distractions, guys. Like,
What are we
nothing.
talking about?
But yeah. I'm sure people's still going to say I'm a hater.
I think Flapjack or somebody said that you should just lie and say that you work for Fox Sports.
Can you do that?
Sure. Make a fake laminate.
Yeah.
Wonder if that's considered fraud or something, you think?
Probably.
Well, if anyone's going to do it, it'd be us. Let's just put that out there. Appreciate you guys being here tonight, by the way. Thanks so much to you all that's been donating so far. You guys are the real ones. Thanks for helping the channel out. If you hit the like button already, appreciate you. If you haven't, do us a favor. It takes 2 seconds. Hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I highly suggest it. It's going to be a fun season. So you want to ride with All Chiefed Up all season long. If you'd like to join the memberships and be a part of the All Chiefed Up crew, you can do that at join.allchiefedup.com. That starts at $4.99 a month. It's cheaper than a bag of Funyuns, bro. So go do it. Highly suggest that as well. One more thing. We do have merchandise. All that helps the channel grow as well. Any proceeds from that. So if you want to donate to the channel, but you'd like to get something in return, then go hit up merch.allchiefedup.com and check out the merchandise there.
Yeah. As somebody in the comments just said this, Steve.
What?
Hold up. No way said, oh no, y'all better not get the Swifties on your ass.
Oh, no. I have nothing against the Swifties. They're a different breed of people. Like, here's the thing. If you go back and you look at, like, New Heights and how much they normally get, like, traffic-wise, I think the biggest episode they'd ever had, and I don't really know because it's not like I dug into it, but I think when they had Kylie on the show, which is Jason's wife, that they had, over a span of 6 months, had, like, 8 million views. Okay, so the Taylor Swift episode...
Which is just flat out incredible.
The Taylor Swift episode had 13 million views or 12 million views in, like, the first 20 hours, bro.
Right. It was insane. It pretty
Like,
much crashed YouTube. Look,
it's
if that
wild.
can crash YouTube and YouTube couldn't support 1 million people live watching that, how are they going to do this football stuff?
I think they said there was like 3-point-something million watching the premiere there, the live. So.
Well, how are they going to do this football stuff?
I don't know. They'll figure it out, right? They're
Good
YouTube.
night.
They'll
They
figure it
better.
out. KT with the 2 bombs says, I don't care about suspensions. We have Mahomes. They don't. That's kind of my sentiment. Mahomes is Mahomes. The receivers are better than they have been the last few years. So I think, honestly, obviously Rashee Rice went down last year and was suspended for the entire season, essentially, by Patrick Mahomes. He laid down that suspension. But, I mean, the team still went 15-2. The games were close. The offense was ugly, but they were still finding ways to win. So I'm just not going to freak out about the suspension at all. It's inevitable. It's coming. We've known it's coming. So when it happens, it happens. I'm still going to stick with the 4-game, though. I think 4 sounds fair.
Steve, Sam says if Matt Derrick and Nate can get a press pass, surely Mike can get one, right? No. No.
No.
Matt Derrick
Mikey-
works. I mean, he works for the team, right? Like, what is he? He's like the beat writer. He's like.
I feel like that's guys that like went to college for journalism.
Yeah,
or
I feel
something.
like that's a thing. They'd be like,
You
these
know,
guys are
like-
just a YouTube channel.
I have a degree.
Yeah, these guys have a degree in like sports journalism or something. Which I mean, you don't need it. to talk about football, obviously, but it is what it is. I'm never getting one.
Oh, no. Of course not. Mike, you don't kiss enough ass to get one of those.
I don't.
You're a wild card. They don't
wouldn't
want a wild
happen.
card out there asking questions, brother.
But I would ask the questions that people would want. Like I would say, first and foremost, if you put me in that room, Steve, I used to mix like we were in a band. We mixed music and audio. I'm gonna make sure, first and foremost, the people asking the questions are mic'd up. I get so tired of not being able to hear the people asking the questions, and then the mic's gonna actually work on the people answering the questions too. So we're gonna get the audio fixed if Mike gets the press pass. That's the first thing I'm doing.
That's all that needs to be done. But why would it be your job if you were just part of the press?
Because I know
Who's
it's
in
like
charge
that.
of this clown
If
show?
I'm in the press room, I'm just going to make sure it works. I'm going to be like, look, guys, we're getting this together because my question's going to be epic. Do not miss it.
We now have degrees. Nikki said so.
Let's do it. Well, for journalism, okay. I'll take it.
That's a stretch.
Yeah.
That's a stretch. Well, what else is going on in Chiefs Kingdom, man? The Rashee Rice talk is coming to a culmination, at least. Like we've been talking about this crap for 2 years. Maybe we'll figure out what's going to actually happen. But
Yeah.
until then, what else we got going on? What do you want
Man,
to watch in the? What do you want to see in the preseason game tomorrow night? Maybe something you didn't get to see in the first one.
Yeah. Good football. That's something
Whatever
that
Bailey
really-
Zappi played.
No, I'm joking. Look, I thought the Chiefs had a lot of good tape. They had a lot of good tape that they could look at. I thought a lot of players come in and played well and showed out. I'd like to see people stack some performances. So I would like to see nothing more than Brownlee be able to come out and do it again, have another good game. I'd like to see I want to see Kingsley and Josh Simmons be able to play more. Now, look, if Mahomes don't play, fine. If Kelsey don't play, fine. If Chris Jones don't play, cool. Josh Simmons and Kingsley shouldn't be in that boat. Should not be in that boat. Those two need to be out there playing. They have to
Right.
play.
Well, you don't want to overdo it, but you definitely want to get enough.
Is there such a thing as overdoing it? These kids
Well,
need
I mean,
to
sure,
play.
if you got them playing into the third quarter and they get their ankle broke by a fourth string guy from,
Well,
Big
yeah.
Willie State University.
But I'm
then
just
that's
saying,
not a good
25,
decision.
30 snaps should not be out of the question for these kids.
No, I would be okay with a whole quarter out of them just to see what you got and get them some reps. I'd be okay with that.
They got to do it. And then did you see where Jalen Moore finally got to substitute in and play some left tackle for the first time
Isn't
since
that
we
wild?
signed him as a left tackle? And people told me I was crazy for saying it.
Of course they did.
Somehow, Jalen Moore didn't get paid a lot of money. Like I said, he got paid a lot of money. They're like, he didn't get paid. I'm like, he's the 6th highest cap hit on our team this year over Creed.
Brother,
he's
making
got paid a lot of
15
money.
He's making $15 million per year. What are we talking about here?
I don't know. I'm not allowed to say it. This is why they ain't gonna give me a press pass.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, but no, I was kind of wondering about that myself. It's kind of weird it took that long to see him on the left side because I honestly thought, everyone thought, hey, it's just going to be a camp battle between those two. But then, Mike, I even said this before camp kicked off. If he's healthy, I think Josh Simmons is going to be it.
Yeah.
You went and got Jalen Moore just in case you didn't get to draft a guy, but you did. And you got one of the best ones, and he's healthy and he's ready to go. So it's going to be his spot. But I thought Jalen Moore effectively was going to be a pretty high-paid backup, right? And then in this first preseason game, I think Asa Pohl surprised some people. That guy's a monster, and he
Yeah.
was getting the job done. And now let's talk about that once again. Think of the competition level he was playing against, because this was towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
So don't get too excited.
He surprised me because a lot of people were talking about how Esapol, like even back in the beginning.
A massive project, right? Like he's just a
Yeah,
huge project.
but like when we first got him on the team, everybody's like, watch Esapol. He could make the team. He can make the team. He's a dark horse. Never didn't think he wasn't a dark horse enough to make the team. But from everything that I was seeing and watching and hearing from inside the room and different things, they loved guys like Dalton Cooper, and you didn't really see much like that.
No,
and
and then Driscoll's obviously had that.
Yeah, and then he's had some
appendectomy.
injury stuff, which
Well,
isn't crazy. I mean, that's
his
just a
appendix
normal.
burst or something, or maybe it just needed.
I don't think it did, or he would have
Needed to
been
go.
really bad. But that's like a surgery where he's in and out. That's like an outpatient thing within like a day. So
Yeah, you're not going to play football for a little bit.
no, but still, I mean, I don't know. Poe could make the team. I still not writing off
He's
like
still a huge project because let's get this straight. Pole's
Do you
a
think he
massive
makes the
human.
53 man? Because a lot of people are putting him on the 53 man based off that one performance, and we still got to see a little
I don't
more.
think I could yet, and here's the reason why. Pole is a massive human. He is huge, he is strong, and he's got a lot of potential. But he has no, I don't even know what the word is for it, just not enough experience. I think Julia said in the chat he has no technique. That's a good way of putting it. Like, he's got a lot to learn. He could be shaped into a really good tackle going forward, but I think he's definitely probably a practice squad guy this year.
Yeah.
Now, could he squeeze on there? Sure. I think any of those guys could on the back end of the offensive line. I think Pohl could make it in there. I think Joe Lombard could make it in there. I think that maybe even Dalton Cooper. Ethan Driscoll made the team last year. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways it could go. It wouldn't surprise me, but I do think Asa Pohl's probably a practice squad guy this season.
Yeah, that's probably what I would think as well. But I will say, man, he does show some potential. But I'm with you. You got to see it with better than fourth string. I mean,
Right,
but,
I mean, he could
but
look
Ethan
great
Driscoll
in the
did it
last-
last year.
Well, they
So
could look great in the last quarter of an Arizona Cardinals preseason game, but how would Esapo look if Max Crosby was lined up across from him?
Right, but still, it's not out of the question because again, Ethan Driscoll made it last year, so we'll have to see about that. But I thought that was an intriguing thing because I'm pretty sure somebody made a 53 man. It might have been a Price Carter. Why do I say his name backwards?
You always get it backwards.
Price, because it's like two last
you
names.
always call Price Carter Price, and you always call Charles Goldman
Charles
Goldberg.
Goldblum.
You call him something different. Jeff Goldblum, I think is what you call him.
No, but here's the thing. I think he put him on there, and I don't know. I'm not there with it just yet, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm just not there yet. But we'll have to see, man. But I thought that was a fun little, exercise to see if you think that he would get there. And I'm not for sure if they're going to take 10 or 9 still, to be honest.
Right. Chiefs Warrior says, is your Venmo the Stevie Williams that has a guy wearing a purple shirt? Just want to send it to the right person. Hold off on that because I don't remember wearing a purple shirt. Now, I think I do have like a purple sweatshirt. If it's got 2 smiley faces on there, then it might be mine. But I think that's what my Venmo is, but just hold on. I don't want you to send something to the wrong people. So we'll get that straight for you. I'll look at that real quick while Mike does some work for you. He could talk to you. Let me look that up.
Yeah. Sorry, I was getting something ready. I think I want to talk about defense for a moment. We haven't talked defense today. And look, I think defense is a big one. I want to see in this game. Here's what I want to see in this game. I think this is the most important thing. Can we get some plays out of the defensive line? Like, can we start getting a little bit of pressure here? I think that's the number one thing I want to see. I thought the linebackers played pretty well last week. And then corner. How many times are we going to roll with Nazi? Like, is it out of necessity at this point? Is it just sheer stubbornness? What is it? And so are we going to see Christian Fulton any? I think that's the big things. Like, are we going to see Fulton a little bit?
For sure.
Now, I will say this. Josh Williams got some praise from Spags this week, and I almost just literally passed out when I read it.
You think it was a cover-up? He's like, I don't
Yeah, I
want
think
people to
he had
think
been
that I
seeing
hate him,
everybody saying that he hated him. And then this week, finally, he gives him some complimentary, words. And then the kid played on the 4th string all week. So it is what it is. But look, Nazi has got to get better. I still have nothing against Nazi, but he just got to get a little better. He did intercept Mahomes the other day in practice. I'll give him that.
Well,
That was
Nazi
after
has
everybody called him.
flashes. He has flashes.
Yeah.
We've all seen him have flashes, but I think he's got to get some consistency, and it's just he's a liability right now in the corner position. I'm with you. I wouldn't mind them seeing him to push him back to safety and see what he can do there and see if he can contribute to the defensive side of the ball at safety. Because right now, he's a great special teamer. I will never complain about him being on the field during special teams or being part of the 53-man roster, but I just don't think he should be a team 1, maybe a team 2 corner, but that's pushing it too for me. I just don't think he's a very good corner. And not saying he can't be, but he's just not yet. Something's missing, something's not clicking yet, or he's just got some more to learn. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's what it might be. I feel like there's just something there that just feels a little off. And I don't know. I want to see him maybe get back to safety a little bit. We talked about that as well. So I don't think it's going to happen, though. I really don't think they want to try that. So it is what it is. Yeah, I want to see the corners get a little bit better. But I think the big thing is how will this defensive line do? I don't think you're going to see Chris Jones a lot. You probably don't see George Karlaftis at all, or just very tiny. Maybe even Omenihu. I don't know how they'll do that. I think you'll see some of the later guys. Yeah, I want to see more Gelati. Definitely more Omar Norman Lott. Still really confused about them adding more weight to Omar Norman Lott. That's weird. But look, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I think this is going to be one of those new Chiefs mysteries, Steve. Like, I think I wrote about this. It was like, if this Omar Norman Lott thing does not work, it's going to be one of the greatest Chiefs mysteries of why you took a guy that they told you stunk at run defense, and he was a beast, an unstoppable 19% win rate in college to get after the quarterback, and then you made him add weight and play run defense. Like, what? Like, it's wild what they're doing. But look, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with the defense on the back end. I think up front, you kind of know what you got. We want to see Omar Norman Lott and Ashton Gelati. I think Jerry Tillery did pretty good in the first preseason game. He got wiped out once by Tip Ryman, but other than that, I feel like he did pretty solid. So I kind of feel good about the defensive line, and we'll see how they progress throughout the season because Felix has got to try to come around and turn it up a notch and actually do something. And then, of course, those rookies are going to take a minute to get in there and get comfortable. But the defensive back room, man, like this one's crazy because there's just so many guys that could make the roster. There's guys that could play at a high level. We've talked about the entire offseason that there's probably going to be some guys left off this roster that maybe shouldn't be. We even kind of, which I don't think now in hindsight, I think it's completely wrong, but like we even dabbled with like Christian Roland Wallace might not make the roster even though he did last season. I think he's firmly on this roster though after what I've seen.
Christian Roland Wallace has definitely made the team in my opinion.
I think goes to show you what I'm talking about here. Like all the guys are good there. So I kind of just want to see how they go with that. And I want to know if they're, to me, what are you going to do with Najee Johnson? Like, are we going to keep beating a dead horse? Or what? And is Josh Williams going to get some opportunities? Because I think Josh played well in the snaps he got the other night. And I think Josh played pretty well last season with the snaps that he got. People want to be like, oh, he gets penalties. He got some penalties on special teams. Big deal. Get over it. If he gets penalties on the field as a defensive player, you still got to get over it. He's a big, long, fast, physical corner. L'Jarius Sneed, we've pointed out 900 million times, was the league leader in penalty yards. And everyone loved him. So I think the penalty thing with Josh Williams is just old news. I think it's kind of irrelevant. I think it's something that people are just looking to throw out there as an answer, and I don't think that's legit. So I don't know what the answer's been for why he hasn't got as many snaps, but I feel like he's right there on the coattails of, Jalen Watson. I think he could play at that kind of a level.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think so too. Chamari Connor looks like he's going to be back to his rookie. I don't want to say rookie form, but last year he struggled a little bit more than I think most people thought he would. But I think Chamari Connor's set up to have a pretty good season. I'd like to see him do well. I want to see more out. Jaden Hicks done well the other day. I think he only missed one tackle, maybe two. But that really stuck out to me the other day when I watched it. I was like, man, Jaden's got to be able to tackle a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. Can we see
the type of player he is? I mean, do you remember Tyrann Mathieu? He missed tackles sometimes. They're just aggressive.
Mathieu at the end of his time with the Chiefs was making business decisions, bro.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about even when Matthew's playing at a very high level, he's still liable to miss a tackle here and there because they're just very aggressive players.
Yeah. Hey, man, I got a treat for you guys. Steve, I got a treat for you.
Oh, no. I'm afraid.
Are you ready for this?
I don't trust you. What do you got?
Look, I wrote. Well, as you know, I'm down here in Florida, man. I'm at the ocean. I'm at the Gulf. Gulf of America, as it's been known as 2025. You see those Gulf of America T-shirts around here. It's hilarious. They all say estimated 2025.
They're all in on it, aren't they? All right.
It's funny. Yeah, but anyway, dude, we got this butte here. We got that butte from Kelsey. Guess
Did
who
you do
recreated this picture today?
Someone asked that in the comments earlier. I can't remember who it was, but someone got in the comments and asked if you recreated it. Like,
I did.
What did I miss?
I did recreate the picture. And look, before I show you the picture, dude, I was on the beach today at about 6 o'clock.
I don't want to see it.
I had to go. Look, I stopped by Goodwill. The girlfriend wanted to go by the Goodwill. She loves going to different Goodwills, man. She thrifts. Dude, they had this exact thing just about, bro. And so we got it. I had to do it. Here we go.
No. Oh!
There it is. Mike on the GQ, baby. Look, let me tell you something. This is hilarious, dude. So I was goofing around. I'm in the ocean. I've got the vest, dude. This cracks me up. Me and Kayla were cracking up doing this. There was like 100 people on the beach watching, bro. There was like 100 people watching, and I was like, they're going to think I'm the biggest idiot ever.
What in the hell is that guy doing over there?
Dude, wearing a construction worker thing, taking a photo shoot for GQ in the middle of the ocean.
Brother.
You know what's funny? Two girls spotted me, dude, and they just came eyeing me down. They knew. I come up off the thing, dude, and I was getting back on the thing. I took my little construction worker vest off because I had a hard day, construction working out there.
Got naked
and
out
I
there?
took it off. I was walking back to my spot on the beach, and the girls stopped us, and they were like, "We know what you did," and I was like, "You knew?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're Swifties." So they knew Travis Kelce, and they knew what I was doing, dude, and they loved it. They loved it, and they followed the channel. They were like, "We're gonna watch the show tonight. You got to unveil it." I said, "I'll unveil it for you guys," and there it is, man.
Oh my God, you brought it back!
In all of its glory. I even had
freaking
Kayla
face, bro. You're doing blue steel. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, because I mean, look,
From
Kelsey too. Look,
Zoolander?
and here's what I've noticed too. Kelsey must have been there on a cloudy day because the sun really just lit me up tonight. So Kelsey must have did this on the
they
cloudiest
also
day
have
possible.
$20,000 cameras too, you know.
That is very
And
true.
editors. Here's the crazy part, though. I just like to point out this right here. Kelsey's is airbrushed, and yours isn't. So, Mike, I think you did good. Round of applause.
Yeah. What about that gold chain too? I wasn't wearing a gold chain. Editor did it for me.
Why? Did you get?
I wanted the gold chain.
Go back. Did she put a gold chain on you?
Yeah, I said, look, here's what you got to do. Just put a gold chain on me. Did it. Look at that. That's hilarious, dude. Dude, those girls were freaking out because they were like, that's so funny.
I can't get enough of this. This is amazing.
I had to do it. I told people if you didn't give me 500 likes, I was going to recreate it. Like, I think people thought I would recreate it at 500. And I was like, no, 500 or I'm doing it.
This just goes to show you that anybody can be on the cover of GQ.
That goes to show you right here that Mike is a piece, A, and B.
A piece of ace.
Look, he better be glad that Taylor Swift didn't find Mike first. Okay,
Right.
that's number one. And number two, I mean, hard day's work at the beach right there in the construction, you know. That's what I'm doing right now.
You're like the great value brand Travis Kelce there.
Yeah, I'm like the Temu version.
The Dollar Tree version.
You go order off Wish. Got on Mike coming.
Good grief. Guys, put some legendaries in the chat for that one. That's ridiculous. I'm glad that you spent time out of your day on vacation to do such a ridiculous thing. That makes me happy. Brenda says it's totally freaking epic.
Don't you have to do it? Look, if you're at a Goodwill and you find a brand new construction vest after Kelsey drops the GQ shoot and I know I'm at the beach and we're not doing this, what is it even vacation if you're not doing that?
Mike, I tell you what, hey, if we get this live stream to over 200 likes before we're done here in just a little bit, I'll recreate it too.
Say, man?
I'll recreate the same picture.
Will you? How are you going to do it?
I'll do it. Photoshop, brother.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Behind me. I just got to
Should I print Should I put it on a poster for
I don't
for
have one of
schedule
those
next
vests,
year?
though. Yes, that's the poster.
No.
That's the poster you guys are getting for Chew with the Crew next year.
Dude, that's funny. Now, I was surprised though that the two girls on the beach knew it, but I told Kayla, I was like, dude, if anybody knows, it's going to be a Swiftie. Like, and sure enough, two girls were watching, and she was like, we know what they're doing. Oh, Brenda's dropping bombs out here. She dropped a 20. Let's go.
Just to get yourself a vest there, buddy.
Dude, look, Brenda, that made my day. You know, I made a complete ass of myself on the beach in front of humans. And Jesus, everybody was watching me do this ignorant stuff. And 20 bomb. Come on now.
That's awesome.
Can't beat that. Can't beat it.
I want
Appreciate it.
The behind the scenes footage of the picture being
I think
taken.
Kayla got some
the
behind the
video.
scenes. I think she got it behind the scenes. I don't think we can show that. No, I'm joking.
Hey, Sergeant says, seriously, sign that shit and make some posters. Let's go.
That's hilarious. Should I do it? Should I do a split screen with Kelsey? It's supposed to be a recreation. It's not a perfection. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I tried to get the pose.
Some would say
He's
that you
just a-
improved it. What you think?
I think my lighting was better. I mean, for GQ to be that, like, dull and dingy, come on now.
Well,
Dude,
they were trying to make
I'm
them
never
dark
recreating
and
the one with the
mysterious,
snake,
okay?
bro.
No, hell no. You
Yeah.
couldn't pay me enough for that. That's crazy.
Hell no.
That's
I ain't
wild.
touching that big snake, boy.
No.
Ain't gonna do
Hell
it.
no. I do a lot of stupid things in this world, and it's not going to be touch the snake. It's not happening.
Steve, you do like a touch of snake.
Good grief. Hey, Julia said just make it the logo for the entire channel. Just like the back, when you go to our YouTube channel, that's the background up top.
Dude, should we do it for like a week? You know how many people would unsubscribe to our channel?
I'm tired of seeing this crap.
Should I do a who should I do a who wore it best and throw it on like X or YouTube and let people vote? You don't know how many people will probably come at us and be like, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever."
It'll be the same, probably the same people that completely hornied out on a Taylor Swift episode of New Heights would be the ones that's like, that's dumb. It's like, bro, you dropped your man card somewhere about a Taylor Swift episode of New
Wow.
Heights, so you don't get an opinion.
Hey man, I loved it. I dropped it for the Swifties. I thought they might want some more man candy out here. You know, got it flaunt it.
Good grief. Can we talk about some football? We cannot end this live stream on Mike in naked with a vest on in the ocean.
Dude, and by the way, completely naked.
Anybody, put some questions in the chat. Let's talk about some football.
Completely naked. Got kicked off the beach for it too. Just me and a construction.
And so, while I'm waiting for one of you guys to generously put a question about football in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. 60% of the people that voted, Mike, think that Rice should go ahead and get it out of the way in the first 4 games.
Yeah, I'm with you. And then you also get that little exemption there. If the Chiefs impose the suspension on them, can they still do the exemption? That's a question we got to come up with.
What are you talking about?
Like, if the league suspends them, you get to use the
Oh.
exemption, like with the Charles Omenihu thing.
Yeah,
But
I
if the
don't
Chiefs
know.
do it, will they still give you that same exemption?
I don't know. It was really tough for me to find the other thing, so I doubt I could add that little caveat in there and get it right.
Quit, bro. That ain't happening.
Oh, I know what shirt's coming to the store. Brother, you're in trouble.
Dude.
I will have that shirt. I'll have this shirt up tomorrow. All I need is a
No.
picture. All I need is a picture. So if you put that picture anywhere on the internet, you're toasted. We're going to be selling them shirts like hotcakes, brother. Hey, everybody wants that.
Is Kelsey
And
on there with me? Like,
hey, I'll put
always
them on
a
there
split screen?
I'll put it on there at an extreme discount too, just to make sure we get enough of them out in the
Put
world.
it on there for like $4 on sale.
Like as cheap as I
Free.
can. Like the profit that we make
Just
from it is
pay
going to be like
shipping.
a penny. Yeah.
Steve, just pay shipping. It's like 99 cents. Just pay shipping.
Well, I
That's
mean, we have to
funny,
pay for the
dude.
shirt too. But if I was rich enough to
Oh,
make
yeah,
that
yeah,
and give
yeah.
them all out for free, I would totally do it. But I'll make it cheap.
Dirt cheap.
Dirt
Man,
cheap.
ain't nobody want that.
Mike, if
son.
someone bought that though, that would make my year. If one
Timu
person bought
Kelsey.
it, if one person bought Timu Kelsey and wore that shirt, that's what it's going to say on the back.
Dude, people are gonna come for me. They're gonna be like, "This guy's ugly." He ain't no Kelsey. Look, they're gonna think I was comparing myself. They're gonna be like, "This guy thinks he's Travis Kelsey." Bro, chill out.
Original Huck said he'd buy one. There you go. I'm doing it. You're in trouble, son. Look, you opened yourself
Hey,
up
I think
to this.
I think Chiefer asked. I think Chiefer had a question, a football question. We gotta find it.
Brian Parrott said it's the only Chief fan shirt.
I
like
mean,
it. Nice.
I like it. Julie asked about the linebacker room. Let's answer this one. The
There
hype
we
for
go.
Bossa.
Football, baby. Let's go.
Steve, who do you think, besides Bossa, because Bossa's going to be a new linebacker on the
The
squad.
Bossa
They're
Nova.
not cutting him. The somebody give a good one. I think it was Brian Parrott.
Don't.
I think Brian Parrott threw out one. Who's the Bossa? Can we start calling him Tony Danza?
Tony Danza.
A little.
I don't know if
TD
people look, man.
action.
We're a little old. I don't know if any of these young kids would make that connection. I'm sorry.
Ain't no
but I
way
don't
in the
know.
world people ain't knowing Tony Danza, bro. He played a teacher in a sitcom. I forget the name of it.
Well, what was your question though? Besides Bossa,
Who do you think, besides Bossa, could be a new addition to the linebacker room? Do you think it's Brandon George?
McDonald.
Do you think it's Coop? Coop's got that fire about him, don't he?
he does. Dude, I
Just something
personally,
about him.
I'm Brandon George fan. I think the kid's so ridiculously athletic. He might be a little rough around the edges, but you just put him in there and let him learn. Dude.
Yeah, I think it's time for Cochran and Christensen to kind of probably.
If it was up to me, like I might go with those two. Like that, like they're both good. And like I said, Brandon George, he might. I mean, honestly, to me, if I watched his tape at Pittsburgh and stuff, I wouldn't even call him rough around the edges. But like some people might think that, but let's get him in there, man. Like,
Yeah.
coach him up.
Like, look,
'Cause this
I like
kid's
Cochran
insane.
just as good as the next guy. Cole Christensen as well. But again, Christensen's more of like a practice squad kind of guy. He was on there all year with our boy Swayze Bozeman.
Yeah.
I feel like Brandon George or Coop, maybe both, maybe one, they could get there. Cam Jones is the guy that's going to be hard to keep off the roster, in my opinion,
I'm gonna hold
because
you
they
guys
do
to this.
like him.
When I put this shirt on the store, I better at least see 5 of them. So because I've seen at least 5 people say they'd buy one.
No way. Quit.
Yeah.
You can't do
So,
that to me,
I'm
man.
It's happening. It's happening. AJ says, do y'all think there's any chance they pass on Juju not for younger guys if they continue to ball out?
We talked
so
about that, AJ, a long time ago, man.
Something Mike dabbled with probably 2 months ago. Daggone, probably around draft time. You brought that up. But I think no. I don't think that they have any intentions of getting rid of Juju. I think they want him there. They want the veteran presence, and they like what Juju does there, for better or for worse. So I think that Juju's actually on the roster. I don't think that's a question.
Yeah. Steve, I'm reading
I
the comments.
understand-
Sam
I
said he's wearing it to a
understand.
game.
I do understand the sentiment, AJ. So you're not like far off the beaten path or anything, but I just don't think they will.
Yeah, look, it's something to talk about because, Juju's got a little bit of a injury history behind him. But I will say he had a very good camp this year, better than I thought it would even be. So I think Juju's locked himself on this team.
Well, I
Him
mean,
and Mahomes
Juju
got a little
came-
something.
Juju came back to the team last season, and he didn't do that much, but not too far removed from the season he actually spent with the Chiefs. Just back at, I think we won, Super Bowl 57 with Juju. If we
Yeah.
go, let's just go
Steve
check out
Nicky
his
said
stats.
what Andy said the other day. He's the
What?
leader of the wide receiver room. I don't think they cut the leader, man.
I think so too. But see, a lot of people don't put this in. People forget about this and they downplay it. But in 2022 with the Chiefs, Juju did miss a little bit of time there. If I'm not mistaken, he had a knee issue and he also had a head injury at one point. So he missed
Yeah,
a
he got a
couple of
concussion
games.
or something.
So with missed time, Juju still went for 78 receptions, 933 yards, and 3 touchdowns in 2022. So he was damn near a 1,000-yard receiver in 2022 with this team in this offense. So it's not like he's just chopped liver. Now, granted, he didn't do much with the Patriots. He didn't do much last season. But he's got it in the tank, man. We're talking about a guy. I understand he's been in the league a while. People think he's old. He's only 28. And he has gone crazy. He had a 1,400-yard season with the Steelers. And then he's been right at 1,000 yards with the Steelers twice and with the Chiefs. So, I mean, the kid can play. I think it's just he's not flashy anymore. He's not like a top-tier receiver. But he does give you that veteran presence, and I think he can be a good receiver. He can pop off on you like that Saints game last year. He can pop off on you.
He could pop off a piece. Pop off a piece of that touchdown.
Mike Hickman says, what about Tillery? Yeah, I saw someone else said that I haven't heard any hype about Tillery. I tried to hype Tillery up as much as I could hype him up earlier. Tillery's not flashy. He's not something that's going to get you real horned up. He's not going to make you horny or anything. But I thought he did look pretty decent in the first preseason game. Like I said, he had that one play where he got wiped out by Ryman. He got a penalty. That was a soft penalty, by the way. It shouldn't have been a penalty. But I think other than that, I mean, I thought Tillery looked pretty good. I thought he looked okay.
Yeah, Tillery's making the team.
Well, yeah, of course.
He's a guy that's not. Well, I'm just saying, like, he's going to be on the team. He's just going to be a serviceable dude. He's a rotation player, but he's got some juice. Like, he'll get after the quarterback a few times. He can make some stops in the run game. Yeah,
I think so too. It's like it's somebody that's not going to wow you, but I mean, he'll get in there and do his job. And it's a veteran. I mean, this guy wasn't he a first round pick?
Jerry Tillery. He was out of Notre Dame, and I just don't remember where he came. It may have been late first, early second, but I don't know. Don't look it up. It's been a while.
I'm looking it up.
Ian, look it up.
Ian.
When was Tillery here?
Tillery was drafted at pick 28. So first round. So I was correct. Did you fall asleep on me? Sorry, I wasn't looking at the screen. I was looking at Tillery.
No, I'm reading comments here.
Chiefs Warrior says, another, do you think Juwan Taylor will get less penalties this year? Man, honestly, yeah.
He went down between year one and year two.
Well, I mean, they literally were just trying to make an example out of this guy. It was like there's 10 guys in the NFL that do the same thing as him, and they were like, this is the one. Because he's playing for the Chiefs. They're in the prime time every time they play. Like, this is the guy we're going to try to make an example out of this with, and we're going to try to get guys to stop bending the rules or taking advantage of the rules, to stop with the illegal formation, because that is a big problem in the NFL. Guys do set up too deep, and they allowed it for too long. So I totally understand that one. It makes it very, very tough for edge rushers when these guys are allowed to do what they've been allowed to do. So I get it. But at the same time, it was just kind of unfair, honestly. And I do think it'll go down a little bit. It really just depends. It depends. Whatever the heck they want to do. Because, I mean, at any given time, they could throw the same penalty flag on a slew of guys. We've talked about Lane Johnson, Deion Dawkins. There's a bunch of them that do this. So, I mean, if they decide to do it with anybody, they can do it. It's just they've been picking on the guy. I mean, plain and simple.
Yeah. He went down, 2 penalties last year, maybe 3. Wasn't a huge difference.
Dude, it's crazy, man.
But if he cuts down to, say, 3 more this year, he's going to be around that, say, 15 penalty mark. And, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Trey Smith had close to, 10 to 12 last year. So, I mean, if he could get down to just around, what Trey Smith just about does. And Trey Smith gets them because he's pretty aggressive, man. He'll hit after, he'll grab, he'll do things. You just kind of do and try to get – that's the thing about being a lineman. You kind of do stuff over and over and see if you can get away with it. Because it's kind of like the whole Rick Pitino basketball thing. Remember, he'd press you all the time and just beat the crap out of you because he's like, the officials aren't going to call a foul every play. Yeah, he's like, they can't call all of it. They're not going to foul my whole team out, so we're going to get away with all this. And that's what linemen do. And then sometimes they get away with it, sometimes they don't.
Absolutely. Shazam says you think penalties are a coaching issue because of Juwan Taylor's 2 years. So here's the thing. Like I said, I think they try to make an example out of the guy. And so the rule technically states that a lineman they can reset their back foot, right? So what Juwan Taylor and Lane Johnson and a lot of these guys do is they time it with the snap. So they know the snap count. They take their step back that they're allowed to reset before the ball is snapped, and they time it perfectly to where they get a full step ahead. And that's just what linemen have been doing. The best ones in the league have been doing it. Juwan Taylor, that was actually why everybody thought he was so good at Jacksonville, and he's a great tackle. He times out the snap perfectly. He's quick with his feet, and then it turned into a detriment for him as a Chief. But then the illegal formation penalties, that's a little bit on everybody, right? Because you can't really blame that just on a tackle, because tackles line up off the guard who lines up off the center, right? So that can kind of go wrong in 2 different areas. And
dude, Trey Smith causes a lot of his penalties. Trey Smith sets up too deep sometimes.
If Trey Smith sets up too deep, then yes, they're going to be able to bust Juwan Taylor every time because he's going to set up to Trey Smith.
Trey Smith is supposed to have his toes in line with about the center to heel of Creed Humphrey.
And
And
the
then, of
same
course,
for-
Taylor gets the center to the hill. And sometimes, if you go back and watch Trey, there'll be a foot gap between his foot and Creed's. And then where does Jawan Taylor have to line up? Like, he's lining up off of him. So if he's wrong, he's wrong. And so that's just the way
But,
it is, man. It's a line.
It's another one of those things where it's like they kind of throw the flag if they want to, because I honestly, from just watching NFL games in full, not just Chiefs, but the teams the Chiefs play, other games I've watched, that is a freaking epidemic.
That's very
in the
common.
NFL. Like, everybody is lining up illegally a lot of the time with its tackles. They're way too deep, and it don't get called a lot. But any given time they can call it. It's kind of one of them things where you can sway a game with that, because at any given time you can call it. Like, you don't call it the whole game, but then all of a sudden, right? And I don't like that. I think that if they're going to call it. If they're not, don't. Like, they got to be consistent, because it's one of those things that can sway a game at the wrong time.
Yeah. It's just another way the NFL can do what they want.
Right. Yeah, every freaking team does it. See, Lane Johnson jumps early every damn snap. See, technically he's not jumping early, and neither is Jawan Taylor. Deion Dawkins from the Bills, you'll see him do it a lot too. It's completely within the rules for them to reset that back foot. So as long as they don't actually move before that ball moves, then
Dude,
they're
I've
okay.
seen Lane
And they
Johnson
can even
move.
they can even move simultaneously with the snap. Like, because a lot of times if you watch really up close to the ball, like if Creed's snapping the ball, before, naturally before the ball goes back, it comes up a little bit, just naturally. So even that first little bitty movement of the football, they can start moving technically.
Yeah.
So
it don't have to be out of the center's
my
hands.
thing is like, you would have to have it in super slow motion to tell me that Jawan Taylor went off sides, and they're not doing that every time. They're just throwing the flag. But it's just crazy to me. See you later, Terry. Thanks for the support, by the way. You're awesome. You're a legend. Have a good night. But yeah, man, excited. Games tomorrow night, 9 p.m.
It's a late one, man. So
Yeah,
we probably
well,
won't be a post game.
Yeah, well, just depending on what's going on. Mike, I know you're in Panama City doing some fun stuff. We'll see what's up. Maybe we'll get on one way or another. We'll see. Not for sure yet. I'm not promising anything. But
Right. I mean, it's just so late. I feel like a lot of people's going to end up being
right.
asleep.
Well, I mean, even if we decide to, we might jump on during the game or something like that.
Right.
It just depends. But
well, either way, we got a live Sunday. We'll be back Sunday.
right, and we
So,
also
I
have a
mean-
video coming out on Saturday. So, yeah, sounds good. We'll figure it out. That's Mike telling you he ain't doing it. He's on vacation. Anybody else catch that? He's going to go stand in the ocean in a vest. That's what he's going to do. He said, I don't have time for this.
Well, if you think anybody's going to stay up to watch a post game of a preseason game at 1:30 in the morning going into work,
Right.
well, you might not have to work on Saturday. So
Yeah. Hey, Shazam. No, probably not. The live coverage, like kind of the way we see it, like if you want live coverage, Cole does it. He does a good job of it. He's got like a whole team that puts up the graphics, and he has the energy to play-by-play call every game of a preseason game. More power to you. He does a good job. If y'all want that, go watch him. And then if you want actual analysis of the game and more in depth, just come over to us after the game. And that's kind of the way it's probably going to be all season long. So, you get your fill of Cole, and then you can come over and hang out with us and talk about what actually happened during the game, break it down, all that good stuff.
Mark says, I was just in Navarre a couple weeks ago. Heck yeah, man. We drove up to Destin today. Check it out. I've never been to Destin. And let me tell you
Y'all
something.
keep rubbing it in. Keep rubbing it in.
The
that everybody gets
beach,
to hang out at the beach
in
with me.
Destin, they have taken every bit of it away, except for like people that sell lawn chairs. Like you can't do it. And they had the algae stuff. Dude, the water was so gross in Destin today. It was so bad. Plus, they had a lot of wildlife. They had a lot of, what's it called? Those little jellyfishes swimming around up there. So, yeah,
Jellyfishes.
Destin was a little wild today, man. It was nicer than PCB today for once.
Well, I mean, it's all nice. Clear
Oh, yeah,
water,
it's beautiful
white
there,
sand.
though. Dude,
Yeah.
I felt like Destin was a rich place. Like, you had to be super rich. Dude, we stopped by a little place called, and I know people that live here, like Sam's going to know this one. What is it called? Santa Ana or, wait, I don't know what the name of it was. Dude, it was it was like I went back in time. It had cobblestone streets, bro.
You don't even know where you're at. You're just out there.
Just out there in the
Living it
world,
up.
just living,
The life
baby.
of luxury. He don't even know where he's at. Doesn't even matter. Mike, you still going to be in
Don't even-
Florida Saturday?
Just
Or are you leaving
GQing.
Saturday, aren't you?
I'll be leaving Saturday, but yeah, I don't know what time I'll leave Saturday. Why are you here, Stoic?
Y'all going to go recreate the picture together? The two of you in epic fashion?
Good.
Yeah, why not? Hey, appreciate you guys being here. You guys are awesome. I say that a lot, but I do mean it. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. It's always a fun time. Thanks for getting in the chat and doing all that stuff. Donos, gifting out memberships, anything you guys do helps the channel. Just watching and liking helps the channel. So we appreciate you. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, highly suggest you go do that. We're going to be doing Chiefs content forevermore. So hang with us all season long. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one. So I suggest you get on board with that. Also, if you would like to join the ACU crew, become a member of the channel, join.allchiefteup.com. Merchandise, we're going to see that awesome Mike in a vest and the ocean shirt. That's going to be at merch.allchiefteup.com, so you can support the channel that way as well. But very, very much appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Take a good long look at that sexy man beast right there.
I mean, I think I hit it spot on.
I don't think you lost 25 pounds like Kelsey did this offseason.
I didn't, man. I have to tone it up. I got to be better than that, Steve.
You
Look,
gotta
I'm
do
going to say,
better.
look, here's what it is.
I'm
I've had a
getting
little
fat.
seafood
Don't
this
feel
week.
bad. Hey, shout
Hey,
out
I've had a
Bucky
little
and Melissa, by the
seafood.
way. Real quick, before I forget,
been
shout out
good.
Bucky and Melissa. Shout out.
Heck
This
yeah.
T-shirt's awesome. I love it. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. You
Oh,
gonna
no,
eat
I didn't have
seafood?
nothing else.
You gonna do some
No, I was
crunches?
just saying
You
I've
gonna try
been-
to get on Kelsey's
I've ate
level?
I've had, eating bad this week, man. Tried out some donut shops. Yeah, I should have done it before the GQ shoot. What am I
can you
thinking?
what are you doing?
I should have been
You're
in the
at
sauna
beach.
all week
You should
before
be eating
that.
seafood. How bad can seafood be?
Man, last night I ate some delicious New Orleans Cajun food. Woo! I didn't know I loved Cajun food so much, but I found a new love for it this week.
At the beach, you should
That
be eating
Cajun
some
place.
fish. Eat some.
I've ate fish.
Eat some.
I've ate fish. I've
Mahi
had some
mahi.
pizza too, man.
Some red.
I did have
fish,
mahi
some
mahi.
grouper.
I had some mahi mahi this past week. I was at Pineapple Willie's, Pineapple Williams.
What
That's
even
what
is
I want to get a
mahi
shirt
mahi?
named it.
Where are all these new fish coming from?
Is a mahi mahi's a dolphin, right?
Get out of here. See you next time.
Are
Go
we eating
Chiefs.
dolphins?
Get wild.